The air is thick with the scent of rebellion, a palpable tension that hangs heavy over the WWE universe. This isn't just a breaking news segment, this is an emergency broadcast, a red alert warning that the very foundation of this industry is shaking. Last night, after the dust settled from what we thought was just another main event, the tremors began. Whispers turned to shouts, and now, the unthinkable has happened. Two of the biggest names in this company, two titans who define eras, have been suspended. Not injured. Not released. Suspended. This is unprecedented. This is a direct shot across the bow of every superstar, every fan, every single person who believes in the sanctity of the sport. What happened? Why? And what does this mean for the future we thought we knew? You are about to find out, and I promise you, by the end of this video, your jaw will be on the floor. Listen, I know your heart is racing right now. Mine is too. These are the moments that define a generation of wrestling fans. And if you're a true fan, if you feel this passion coursing through your veins like I do, then you belong here, with us, in the SLAMZONE family. We live for these moments of chaos, of triumph, of absolute shock. So please, I'm asking you, from one fan to another, hit that subscribe button. Join our family. Leave a comment below telling me who you think it is, or what you think happened. Ring that notification bell so you don't miss a single beat of this unfolding drama. We need to stick together through this. Now, let's cut straight to the chase. The reports started trickling in late last night. Anonymous sources, backstage whispers, cryptic social media posts from talent that were quickly deleted. But by this morning, the dam burst. WWE, through a terse, almost clinical statement from Triple H himself, confirmed it. Effective immediately, following Saturday night's main event, Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins have been indefinitely suspended without pay. Let that sink in. Brock Lesnar, the Beast incarnate, and Seth Rollins, the Visionary, the Grand Slam champion. Two pillars of the WWE, two men who have held virtually every championship, who have main event WrestleManias, are now on the sidelines. The statement was vague, citing violations of company policy and conduct detrimental to the integrity of WWE. But that's just corporate speak, isn't it? The real story, the true horror of what transpired, is far more complex, far more brutal. Let's rewind to Saturday night. The main event. It was a no-holds-barred street fight between Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, a feud that had been boiling for months, reaching a fever pitch. Both men put everything on the line. Tables, ladders, chairs, kendo sticks, they used it all. The match was a masterpiece of brutality, a symphony of destruction. Finn Balor, desperate for a decisive victory over Rollins, unleashed a fury we hadn't seen from him in years. He channeled his inner demon, not just in appearance, but in spirit. He wanted to end Seth. He wanted to send a message. And Seth Rollins, ever the showman, ever the fighting champion, met him blow for blow. He absorbed punishment that would hospitalize a lesser man, laughing maniacally even as he was busted open. The match went on for nearly 30 minutes. Near falls kept us on the edge of our seats. Balor hit a coup de grace through a table, and Rollins still kicked out at 2.5. The crowd was a frenzy, chanting "This is awesome" at the top of their lungs. Rollins, blood streaming down his face, climbed to the top rope, looking for a high-risk maneuver, when out of nowhere, Damian Priest appeared, distracted the referee, and Balor capitalized, hitting another coup de grace, this time directly onto a pile of steel chairs. The pin was academic. 1, 2, 3. Finn Balor had finally, definitively defeated Seth Rollins. The crowd erupted, a mixture of cheers for Balor and stunned silence for Rollins. It was a shocking victory, a brutal end to an incredible rivalry. But that wasn't the end of the night. Oh no. That was just the prologue to the real story. As Finn Balor celebrated, the Judgment Day swarmed the ring, hoisting him on their shoulders. They had finally achieved their goal. Rollins lay motionless, defeated, humiliated. The medical team rushed down to check on him, and that's when it happened. The arena lights dimmed. That familiar, terrifying siren blared. The crowd, still reeling from the main event, collectively gasped. Here comes the pain. Brock Lesnar. Nobody expected him. He wasn't scheduled. He hadn't been seen in weeks. His appearance sent shockwaves through the entire building. He stomped down to the ring, a look of pure, unadulterated rage on his face. The Judgment Day scattered like cockroaches, leaving Finn Balor alone, wide-eyed, in the center of the ring. Lesnar didn't even look at Balor. He walked straight past him, past the confused medical personnel, and over to the fallen Seth Rollins. Rollins, groggy and barely conscious, was trying to push himself up against the ropes. Lesnar grabbed him by the hair, hoisted him to his feet, and delivered the most brutal F5 I have ever seen. Rollins landed with a sickening thud, his body folding unnaturally. The crowd went from stunned silence to a confused, angry roar. Why? Why was Brock doing this? Rollins had just lost a brutal match. He was already a broken man. This wasn't a challenge, it was an execution. But Lesnar wasn't done. He picked Rollins up again. another F5. This time, he threw him clear over the top rope, crashing onto the ringside floor. Medical personnel rushed over, but Lesnar just glared at them, daring them to interfere. He grabbed a steel chair from under the ring, stormed to the outside, and began to relentlessly bash Rollins with it, over and over. A dozen chair shots, each one echoing like a gunshot through the arena. Rollins was barely moving. It was sickening. It was beyond what anyone expected. Suddenly, a voice boomed over the PA system. "Brock, enough!" It was Triple H, the head of creative, the man in charge, storming down the ramp with a phalanx of security. He looked furious, horrified. He was yelling at Lesnar to stop. Brock Lesnar just stared at Triple H, a twisted smile slowly spreading across his face. He dropped the chair, walked over to the barricade, grabbed a fan's phone, and snapped it in half. He then casually walked up the ramp, leaving a path of destruction and a clearly concussed Seth Rollins in his wake. The arena was in an uproar. The sheer audacity of Lesnar. The disrespect. It was a breakdown of order. Triple H looked livid, absolutely beside himself with rage. He immediately called for more medical attention for Rollins, who was stretchered out of the arena. But here's where the story takes an even darker turn. As Rollins was being loaded into the ambulance, and Brock Lesnar was reportedly escorted out of the arena by private security, a video surfaced online, captured by a fan in the parking lot. It shows Seth Rollins, still clearly dazed and in pain, but out of the ambulance, confronting Triple H. Rollins was screaming, demanding to know why Lesnar was even in the building, why he wasn't protected. He was accusing Triple H of allowing this to happen. The argument escalated quickly. Rollins, fueled by adrenaline and anger, pushed Triple H hard, and that, my friends, is why we are here today. The official statement says, conduct detrimental to the integrity of WWE. For Brock Lesnar, it was his unprovoked, brutal assault on an already injured competitor, completely outside the bounds of any storyline or scheduled appearance. For Seth Rollins, it was the physical confrontation, the pushing of Triple H, the disrespect for authority in front of witnesses. This is a crisis. A complete and utter breakdown. Two of the biggest draws, two of the most polarizing figures, now sidelined. What does this mean for the upcoming premium live event? What does this mean for the Universal Championship picture? Seth Rollins was a top contender. And Brock Lesnar, well, he's Brock Lesnar, he's always a factor. Hit that like button, subscribe to SLAMZONE, and join the family for more intense wrestling breakdowns every week. This is not just a story, this is a seismic shift in the WWE landscape. You do not want to miss a single update. Think about the implications. This isn't just a storyline suspension. The severity of Triple H's tone in the official statement, the speed with which this decision was made, it speaks volumes. This is real. This is punitive. What could possibly have pushed Lesnar to this extreme? Was it a message? Was it personal? Brock Lesnar has always been a force of nature, a law unto himself, but this level of uncontrolled rage, this blatant disregard for the rules, even for him, is shocking. And for Seth Rollins, a man who has always prided himself on being the ultimate company man, to snap and put his hands on Triple H? That shows just how deeply the pain and frustration cut. He felt abandoned, unprotected. The ripple effect of this will be massive. Other superstars will be watching. Will this set a new precedent for backstage conduct? Will this create a power vacuum? Who will step up to fill the void left by these two titans? Consider the history between Rollins and Lesnar. Their rivalry has always been intense, sometimes bitter. Remember WrestleMania 31, when Rollins cashed in his Money in the Bank contract to steal the WWE Championship from Lesnar? Or their battles for the Universal Championship? There's a deep, complex history there, but nothing that would suggest this level of unprovoked, violent assault outside of a sanctioned match. Unless this was all a very carefully orchestrated, incredibly elaborate work, designed to shock us to our core. But the official statement, the genuine anger from Triple H, it feels too real. It feels like consequences are actually being handed down. And what about Finn Balor? He just had the biggest win of his career against Seth Rollins, a victory that should have propelled him to new heights. Now, his moment is overshadowed by the absolute chaos that followed. Is he concerned? Is he secretly relieved that Lesnar didn't turn his attention to him? Or is he wondering if he's next on the Beast's hit list? This whole situation also shines a harsh light on the leadership of Triple H. As the architect, the creative force, he has to maintain order. This incident, with two of his top stars suspended, is a black eye for his administration. How will he recover? How will he reassert control? This is a test of his resolve, a test of his power. The silence from both Lesnar and Rollins on social media since the announcement has been deafening. No apologies. No explanations. Just the void. The uncertainty. This is not just a temporary inconvenience, this feels like a major reset, a hard pivot for the entire company. Every single upcoming storyline, every championship chase, every rivalry is now thrown into disarray. The Royal Rumble is just around the corner. Who were the favorites? Lesnar and Rollins were always in that conversation. Now, two major contenders are gone. This opens the door for someone else. But who? Who has the grit, the determination, the talent to seize this opportunity in the midst of such turmoil? This isn't just wrestling anymore. This is a real-life drama playing out before our very eyes, blurring the lines between fiction and reality in a way we rarely see. The emotions are raw. The stakes are incredibly high. I keep coming back to that parking lot video. Rollins, screaming, pushing Triple H. The look on Hunter's face, a mix of disappointment, anger, and perhaps a touch of sadness. It's hard to imagine the kind of pressure these superstars are under, the toll it takes, the breaking points they can reach. To see Rollins, usually so composed, so calculated, just completely unravel, it tells you everything you need to know about the severity of Lesnar's attack. And Brock, the enigma. What drives him? Is it just pure destructive impulse? Or is there a deeper game being played here, one we, the audience, aren't privy to yet? His history is filled with moments of breaking rules, defying expectations, but this felt different. This felt personal. So, where do we go from here? We wait. We watch. We analyze. We, as the SLAMZONE family, will be here every step of the way, breaking down every single detail, every single rumor, every single development. This is a story that will unfold over weeks, maybe months. Hit that like button, subscribe to SLAMZONE, and join the family for more intense wrestling breakdowns every week. This is unprecedented. This is shocking. This is wrestling, and right now, it's more unpredictable than ever. I urge you again, if you haven't already, subscribe, comment, share this video, and ring that notification bell. We are living through history right now, and you need to be part of the conversation. Thank you for joining me on this emergency broadcast. My mind is still reeling, just like yours. What a night. What a fallout. Stay tuned. The world of WWE has just been turned upside down, and we're just at the beginning of this incredible, terrifying journey.